G'day, it's Clive Roxinger here. Now, this is interesting. Rolling friction. Again, a lot of silly formulas, a lot of silly numbers, and absolutely none of them add up. Now, the interesting thing here is that this is basically just a setup for an experiment, and this is going to work really well. I did have a machine made up for this, but it turns out I can do this a lot easier. It's a lot easier way to do this, and I seem to be finding these easier ways of doing it. And the trick here is the extension of the rubber band. I found it's very difficult when you're pulling on something. Your gauge is moving all over the place, whether it be digital or a dial. It's going to be waving backwards and forwards. The only way you can get a really precise measurement is to put a constant force on it. So what I do is I find out what the extension is on this, and then make an apparatus up where I can pull it. Say like it'd just be a board, it's got an attachment one end, and a nice long thread like a vice type thread that winds fairly quickly, and put the same extension and find out exactly how many pounds force it is that's actually pulling it along. Now what I found just from this calculation, or just from this experiment here, what I've got, this is a thing you buy from, I bought it from Kmart I think, and all it is it's a pulley designed for hanging a bicycle, and hang on, I don't know, I'm trying to get it so that you can see it. Where are we? I think can you see that? Yeah. And I pulled the pulley off the bicycle and put a hook on it. I just hung it off the roof of the house, anything that's high. You can hang it off the front of your garage, anything. This is an old saw balloon bottle from days of Dermo. And the trick here is oh, the cat's helping me. Hello Albert, he's bugging me. Nick off Albert, you're bone fed. This is the trick here. This is a really good representation of a plain bearing. So you want to, so really what it comes down to is, I don't think there's bearings in there, I think that's just plain bearings. The trick to this is that you're making up a go-kart, you've got a motor, and you want to find out how much reduction in resistance is it from dragging the motor along the ground in the dirt and putting it on a frame that's got bloody wheels on it. This frictional rolling coefficient is a lot of horseshit. Ignore it, it's all rubbish. What I found just from this experiment that I did here, I've got nearly 25 pound on that, and the amount of poundage that it's taken to pull it is only about 5 pound. It's only about 5 pound. So just a wild off the top of my head, you're looking at about 75% reduction in weight. So you know, if you put a motor on a frame, you're going to reduce its friction by 75%, which is exactly what I would have expected. All of this bullshit and the formulas and all the rooting around, they give you on asphalt and all this sort of thing, and they're giving you 0.001, forget all that, it's all rubbish. Yeah, you're looking at a major percentage of reduction in friction when you put it on a rolling frame. And so this is a good test because it's really simple to set up. Now obviously I've got to calculate all of these weights out, I've got to have a lovely smooth surface, and I can put the dial gauge on that. And as soon as it starts to move, the dial gauge will move and padang. I've got a really good value, and the great thing about these rubber bands is they're consistent. You have to pull on that 50,000 times before the rubber starts to degrade and you get a reduction in resistance. So for the next 12 months, every time I stretch that, it's going to come out to exactly the same length before it starts to pull that little trolley along. The trick is to get it all frictionless, put a bearing in there, make maybe a better bearing up here. You've got the housing there, just put a better bearing in there. Put a little skate bearing or something. I can machine something up, or I could probably even make something up. and all that is just a flat plate with a bar poking out of the front of it, which you can make up the end in your garage. And this is a string that I bought from Coles Supermarket, this blue stuff. Yeah, you just buy it in a reel, I don't know, it's about $4 or something. And it's really good stuff, it's as strong as. So, this is a really good experiment. I'm pulling 25 pound along, and it's only taken about 5 pound to pull it. So, you know, it's not 75%, but you know, at a guess, that's around about what you're looking at. So when I do my calculations for my lawn tractor and I put it in the frame, it weighs 700 pound. So I'm probably only looking at about pulling along about maybe, what was it, 3 or 4 years, 600, 700 pound, about 200 pound or something it's got to pull along. Something around ish. But yeah, this looks like it's going to pan out. I've got to do this much better. But the basic principles there, and all your rolling friction formulas, you know, carefully print them out on your printer and then laminate it, and then throw it in the rubbish. Clive Rocksinger. And where's Albert? Albert? Oh, when you want him, he's gone. Clive Rocksinger over and out.